It's going. Cool.
Good evening, Scott.
Good evening, Michael. How are you tonight?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
I think I'm actually doing pretty well for a change. Yeah, my health has been giving me hell for the past few weeks. And yesterday, not bad. Today, a little roller coaster this morning, but not bad. So, yeah, pretty good at the moment. I've been sitting here looking at some of the paperwork for our event space in July. Make a
Good.
little make a
I'm
little
anxious.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's a neat place. I'm hoping we get a good solid turnout. But I'm really really sort of have been dragging my feet. I've been dragging my feet. The sickness has been knocking me down. So getting some of this stuff together is a little coming together now. I hopefully but yeah, we got probably what 8 or 9 solid 8.5 weeks until then. So I don't think we'll have any problem.
Cool, cool, cool.
Where are we? 7 o'clock. We'll give it another minute or two. Oh, what was the other quick news? I'll talk about it once we get started.
Yeah.
Almost there. Another 20 minutes or 20 seconds or so. Oh, I should open up chat. What are you sharing with us, Kevin? Okay, is that working? No, it's not working. Okay. All right, let's see if this is working again. Cool. All right, I was talking to myself there for a minute. What's the YouTube video of, Kevin? Can anybody hear me? Hello?
I can hear you, Scott.
Oh, okay, okay. Sometimes I worry this thing doesn't work. This headset every now and again cuts out. All right, recent folders. There we go.
That's it.
All right, we're at 7:03. Plenty of time to get started here. We'll invite folks in as we go. Thank you, everybody who's joined with us at the moment. And we'll start off as we usually do with our disclaimer that all of our meetings are an environment of education and awareness and are not an open market for the sale, purchase, or distribution of cannabis. We do not encourage or condone illegal behavior of any kind. Tuck that away. And what is this one? Do I need it out? No. Again, welcome to everybody who's here with us in the live Zoom meeting. Also, I'm going to say welcome to anybody who may be watching our live stream to YouTube, and also welcome to anybody who's watching on YouTube later on as a recording. With that said, I do like to remind you, if you are watching on the YouTube, we're not monitoring comments in the comment section at the moment. So if you do have questions, comments, concerns, you can leave them down below in the comment section, and we will visit the YouTube tomorrow and see if we can answer those questions or note your concerns and comments. Not a lot going on. Oh, what we got coming? Oh, excellent. Politically at the moment, I think I saw something just the other day. Was it yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, mentioning the Compassionate Care Act in the Senate Bill S-150, and being, I guess, available to debate on the Senate floor or something. I forget what news media shared that, but it's pretty much my clear understanding from a post that Tom Davis did a while back that it's on the schedule for January when it starts up again in 2022. And I don't know where we are with the legislature. I think we reach finally the end of the active legislature this week or later this week. So, yeah, because there was a couple things I think there was still like a day or two left. So maybe they could still throw it out there and it could see debate in the next day or two, but I highly doubt it. They're playing with guns right now is the big thing, I think. Also, I think they're working on a hate crimes bill, so that's a good thing. Federally, well, that's the other thing, and I want to real quick just review it. I don't know a bill number. I told Carly, what's Carly's? I'm blanking right now, folks. Carly is our state political director at National. So she tries to keep up on everything that's going on around all 50 states, marijuana legislation wise. And I happened to see a post somewhere came out about beginning of May. The post I saw was actually 6th of May, but I saw another post. I think the original post or article came out end of April-ish. House passes bill to reduce drug sentences over Attorney General Alan Wilson's objections. It is a postandcourier.com. Let's see if I can give you guys the link. Postandcourier.com link. Oh, it's actually let me see the whole thing. I was going to say, I think it's behind a paywall. They never, okay, there it goes. So if you happen to be able to read the Post and Courier, you have a subscription or something like that, there's the link. And what the bill is it reduces drug sentences, and I know nothing more about it. I did find something about another link to it somewhere, but it never gave me a bill number. So I really don't know what bill it is, what reductions in drug sentences they're implementing. So that one's got me a little bit befuddled. And if anybody knows anything about that, please let me know. Again, I'll do a real quick screen share so I can show you. We have it here posted to our Facebook page. But yeah, when I click out to it, because I don't have a subscription to Post and Courier, I cannot read the article. I get this. Subscribe today. So yeah, but I did at least get to tag Alan Wilson on it from our website, just to give him a little poker jab. I see it looks like another comment in chat. Thanks, Bob. It may, yeah. I have no idea what's involved there. It'd be nice if they got rid of mandatory sentencing, especially for cannabis. Let me go ahead and stop the share. We don't need that on there. And so that's pretty much all I know that's going on here at the state level for any kind of substance-related legislation. And that's not our main topic tonight. Our main topic tonight pretty much, and it's not going to be a real long conversation, I hate to tell you, because I don't know what all to say, unless you guys can fill me in and help me out. And that's really a big thing. Let me go ahead and I guess I'll just mention it. We are, as many of you know or have heard, we've been planning an event for July 10th in Columbia, South Carolina. I'm sitting here right now, sitting with a bunch of basically the contract for the venue. And I'm just apprehensive. I'm a little, because we've been a small organization. We don't have a whole lot of money, and I'm getting ready to commit us to the largest chunk of change we've ever committed ourselves to. It's not huge by most people's standards, I don't think, but it's substantial for a broke nonprofit organization. But on top, I mean, I think we've got it covered. I think we've got things gonna, it should fall into place, and we're going to play it out and see how it goes. But our event primarily is called the South Carolina Normal Cannabis Convocation. It's a cannabis conference and trade show. It's somewhat of an I'm going to say semi-abbreviated event, but I've been to some conferences that have only been, it's about 5 hours long. We're going to be starting about 9 a.m. And running till, I think they let us in about 2:30. They have a game that day. The location is called Segra Park. It is the home of the Columbia Fireflies, and we are using their club lounge for the event. So it will be indoors. We will have air conditioning in the middle of July. I don't. One of the things I hate about trying to put an event together is that roll of the dice on weather. We could maybe an outdoor location with some good cover and things like that, but I'm not real familiar with Columbia to begin with. And I did take a road trip to Columbia from here the other couple weeks ago to check out the venue. And it seems to be a relatively nice a pretty nice venue. In the middle of what seems to be a lot of construction and stuff going on around it. It seems to be a developing area that they're in there. I see something. Anyway, I'll get back to that. So it is a pretty good sized room. It's not a giant hall by any means. We're probably going to be have about 20 to 25 different folks represented there, whether they're vendors, whether they're other nonprofits. And a lot of the focus on this event is going to be based around the collateral consequences, like denial of housing, employment, college loans, child custody, things like that. And organizations that are affected by that, and pretty much trying to highlight the reasons why decriminalization is really important, and helping to educate folks on how they can help us decriminalize. As you know, we've been talking the past couple of weeks about our local initiative guide, I got it in my hand again. There it is. And doing the ballot initiative process at the municipal level here in South Carolina. Um, Unfortunately, as we've said before, the state constitution does not allow for state level ballot initiatives. So we can only do it municipally and or county level. Um, I believe county level, actually. I'm not absolutely certain, but I'm pretty sure of it. And so that's what this event really is going to sort of be focused on. Is yeah, a lot of us know the consequences, but it surprised me. As a matter of fact, doing what I do here for South Carolina Normal, I've had some things come across my phone calls. Well, a lot of them are usually through social media messaging and things like that. Matter of fact, just this past week, I had a young mom contact me, lives here in the Charleston area, happened to buy some full spectrum CBD product from one of the CBD vendors a couple miles from where I live, here in the Charleston area. And I'm assuming she was on some sort of supervision because she was tested um, positive for cannabis. And now they are, I'm not exactly sure what Child Services is doing, but I know a few years ago they filed child abuse charges against a young pregnant woman for testing positive for cannabinoids in her system. Um, and again, there's no evidence that they're smoking weed or there's THC. And as if you all know, the testing that is normally done, it tests for metabolites, cannabinoid metabolites, and so these full spectrum, 120 plus different compounds in cannabis are kicking these tests off. And or like me, I've tested recently positive because I applied for a job, didn't get it, and it wasn't CBD. So anyway, what a lot of people don't understand is if you are going to be tested, the full spectrum cannabinoid, the full spectrum products will most probably show hot. The CBD isolates, where it's just the CBD, they should not. Um, and that's where some folks get in trouble, like this young, the young ladies I mentioned. She actually mentioned the store. I drive by it on occasion, and yeah, she said I take a full spectrum CBD product, and all I could really do because she was looking for a little bit of advice on you know what to do legally, and all I could really do is direct her to the ACLU of South Carolina, which is what I actually where I got the call from originally about the pregnant mom a number of years back was from the ACLU asking if I could recommend any cannabis doctors that might be able to come in and testify. Um, and so I was able to give her a few names. I never did hear anything more about how the case went. Um, in South Carolina courts, I doubt they went well. But that's what we're trying to highlight at the event is just these type of things. I mean, um, excuse me. A, another cool consequence, actually, I just heard this one is, or collateral consequences, I'll call it, is there's a group I've talked about a number of times. Matter of fact, their director was on here with us a few months back. The cruelconsequences.org. Cruel Consequences basically is taking these stories and attaching a portrait to it. So they have these 16 by 20 portraits, and then probably an 8.5 by 11, printout next to it of the story of this particular person. And we've been trying as an organization, we've been sharing their information out on our social media over the past couple of years, trying to get a South Carolina story. And I'm not sure. I know she called me the other day. She says, I think we have a South Carolina story. But she had to get some confirmation on it and such like that. But the story, for the most part, to me, is kind of a heartbreaking one because this was one where a young, I want to say teenager, happened to get caught with cannabis. And so he got on supervision. And autistic spectrum, autism spectrum, and they, probably were benefiting from the cannabis, in my opinion. But now they've been caught by law enforcement and put on testing. So they started huffing, and that's much worse for you. Eventually, it actually killed him. And that, so the story's not actually coming from that person, but from their family, and it's really crushing story. It's also one of the things that um, it, I I am adamant about not having school resource officers in schools. I don't believe they really keep our children safer. As a matter of fact, I think what they do a lot of times is find ways to criminalize our children and just feed the school to prison pipeline. And there's been discussion at times in the local school districts, South Carolina school districts, about implementing random drug testing on our students. Um, and if you do that, these kids aren't idiots. They'll find something that clears their system a lot quicker than weed does. Probably a lot more dangerous. Absolutely a bit more dangerous, no matter what it might be, to be quite honest with you. Um, whether it's huffing, whether they're finding, a lot of these I don't know a lot about the MDMAs and stuff like that. Um, I hear about them legalizing mushrooms and things that I remember from back in my younger days, but even still, it's stuff clears the system quicker, and although it's a lot more dangerous and probably a lot harder to control, um, they're jeopardizing our children with these type of moves, because these kids, if they want to get high, they're still going to try and get high, and they're just going to do it in a way that they won't get caught, but you're increasing their chances of hey, the fact sheets, actually, I've shared one the other day to Sandy Sen. Bob, you're welcome. Talking about how, and I reduced her grade for you as well, just because she was a idiot not too long ago. I can't quite give her an F because she hasn't sponsored any anti-marijuana legislation, and that's sort of how the dynamic works on that. Anyway, I'm going to take a real quick peek here. Well, you're posting there, but okay. But anyway, these cruel consequences is really what we want to highlight at this event. And so one of the things we're hoping to find, and I haven't started promoting it yet, is a sponsor to to how do they phrase it in there? Basically, of sponsors that we can get a display from Cruel Consequences at our event. And then after the event, they're able to keep it. We finding what they're telling me from Cruel Consequences is she's finding a number of supporting type dispensaries and things that might get these and use them on the display wall to sort of highlight, reasons why legalization, decriminalization, especially in only medical states, is important. Um, I also thought maybe it'd be a good idea for some uh, criminal defense attorneys who are also sort of like civil rights supporters. If they would want to sponsor something like that, and then they could hang it on the display wall in their law firm. Just it's a powerful display. Um, and there's a number of stories. You can actually see them online going to cruelconsequences.org. Um, so as I mentioned, for the convocation, that's going to be our main focus on it. I haven't really nailed down I guess I'll call it the educational part of it. We are going to be going over, as we've done here online a couple of times, Cruel, Cruel, like Cruella de Vil. Let me see if I can grab it real quick. Oops. What did I just do? There we go. So yeah, and if anybody knows someone who would like to be part of this from South Carolina, I think if we could get a couple South Carolina stories added to these, they're from all around the country. Um, Actually, if I scroll down here a little, I don't have my share on. I'm seeing Delaware, Illinois, Maryland, Missouri, Nevada, North Carolina, Virginia is where she has stories out of at the moment. Let's see. Where did I just put that paperwork? Oh, there we go. So we just posted yesterday the basic announcement for it, and I updated our social media, our Facebook. We don't really have anything events. We have an event on Facebook, but we don't have any events on, like, I guess, Instagram and Twitter. I don't know how that would work. But the links are going to eventually take you out to register or get your tickets on our Action Network page. So I will real quick go ahead and grab you that information and give you a link. And as far as anybody that are vendors that want to be involved, reach out to us. And we don't have the registration fees like payable online at the moment. There we go. Very cool. Any questions about what's going to happen or anything like that? I have one other thing I should mention is there will be no outside food or beverages brought in. We are planning to have sort of like, I haven't nailed it down yet, but like sort of morning coffee croissant kind of things or something, just real light, available, included in your ticket pricing, and probably soft drinks through the day, although we won't be including any kind of lunch. There is a bag lunch option we can discuss if anybody's interested in it. But I say we all go out afterwards and have dinner. Visit someplace in Columbia nice. But yeah, if you have any questions or comments about what the setup, we are going to be limited in size on the space. I was kind of picturing, a big expo hall. But I think we're going to have a pretty good turnout. I think I did mention earlier, we're going to have probably around 25 vendors, nonprofit combination in there. Nice location and hopefully a lot of good information. We are just really getting a lot of our outreach going on this past week. And I'll be talking to you, Kristen, about that in a day or two. So all right. Comments, questions, thoughts? Barbecue at Josh's afterwards. Oh, that could be interesting. Josh has a mixing panel in the back. We were talking about media type stuff, Josh, correct?
Sorry, I had to unmute. Yeah, I got everything you guys need: audio, video, microphones, wireless mics, whole 9 yards.
Okay, excellent. I'll double check with them. I know they have a sound system there and some monitors, but I'm figuring, you can help us link into them and kind of be in charge of our social media or our media and media, their technology, whether it's our sound or our video kind of stuff, if that'd be cool with you.
I already
So
got you guys down.
nice, nice. I appreciate that. Um, and one of the things we are going to be doing, and now that I'm thinking about it, I know Mike is going to be participating. We're looking for our participants to see if they can put together a little, I don't want to call it the elevator speech, but something along those lines, a little promo piece that we can play through the media system. I'm thinking maybe 90 seconds to 3 minutes, something like that. Just sort of little blurbs that we can share then on social media as well. And then, telling a little bit about the organization that you're representing and that kind of stuff. Um, so just sort of think about that a little bit. And otherwise, I don't think I have anything else about the event tonight. That's kind of it for now until we start gathering more of our momentum here. Hopefully next Wednesday we'll have a little bit more information to share on this. The only other thing I guess tonight is that I can mention or that I will mention because actually I was thinking about it earlier. Where did I put it? I have to go through our own social media page half the time, Facebook page, just to find where I'm put links to stuff. We have been starting to spread around and share around our new volunteer form. There it is. Let me get that link and share it. What it does for me compared to, well, we never really had one before. We didn't have a form. People would just say, hey, yeah, I'll volunteer. And I try and remember. This way it accumulates everything into a spreadsheet for me. I can see, if it asks your address, really, as long as we know approximate zip code or town kind of thing. It also has some questions about maybe some of your skills, whether you're good at graphic arts or I don't even know. Oh, I got them in front of me. I can scroll down. Accounting, activism, event planning, fundraising, general duty, volunteer, grant writing. That's one always intrigues me. Graphics, IT, leadership, letter writing, all that kind of fun stuff. So it only has like 4 basic questions, but that one question is multiple options. So let me hit the send button and we'll put that in the chat there. You're also welcome to take that link and share it around if you're interested in helping us find some volunteers. On top of that, we're looking for more administrative level volunteers, and that would be a volunteer coordinator for one. That would be very important to us to have because as we're starting to build these efforts, a volunteer coordinator can hopefully take that hat away from me, take that pressure away from me, and actually do a good job of it because I don't. Another thing we are looking for is someone to be secretary on our board. Secretary duties have sort of shifted over the past couple of years since we've moved to Zoom meetings for almost everything because Zoom records it and saves it right to a drive. So we don't really need a secretary keeping minutes, but our secretary's primary duties are membership and member value, member tracking, that kind of stuff, just so that we can know who our active members are and I say try and add member value in certain ways. A good example is the event that we're scheduling here. If somebody, where's my little badge? I don't have it in front of me. If somebody has their 2021 South Carolina membership badge, paid your dues for the year, you can get in for $2 instead of $10 to the event in July. Not it's not lots and lots of money you're winning the lotto, but we try and return some benefit back to folks that have become members or who donate to us. Also, I'm hoping by the time we get to July, actually, I don't know before we get to July because they should be coming in about a week or so, maybe 2 weeks. We are getting our new South Carolina normal t-shirts coming in. The rebranding of Normal last year kind of made all of the, actually required all of the chapters to rebrand for certification as a chapter. And so with that rebranding, we also renamed. We actually rebranded, sort of followed the rebranding first because that came about mid 2020, probably June or July, I think. And then we were asked to become the state affiliate. And so we renamed back in January. We're still slowly trying to get up to speed on some of our merch with the new logo, but the new t-shirts are coming in. With the new branding, they are available in any color you like, as long as you like black. With our logo on the front and on the back, it says "Working to Reform Marijuana Laws" in our branded colors. So keep an eye out for that on our website coming up soon, and also we'll have them available at the event. Thank you for that acknowledgement, Bob. Yes, I'm not quite as old, but some days I'm feeling it. All right. Anybody have questions or comments for me about the event, or about marijuana law reform, or about petitioning? Throw it at me, Bob.
Yes, we have some possession becoming legal in the Carolinas soon. I put a link in the comments, but the Cherokee tribe, they're going to have legal cannabis in the Carolinas. That's
Now,
kind of
on their reservation. I'm assuming it's a reservation.
yes,
Restricted.
and apparently the Catawba tribe is possibly interested too, and they're in South Carolina, so that's some good news.
That is good news. I mean,
I got to tell you also, I helped to get the Alabama bill passed. There was a bunch of district attorneys who put out this letter saying the gateway drug theory, if this passes, it's going to be bad. And I was helping the advocates down there, and I said, man, we need to hit them back hard. And I'll put the link in the comments where the DEA was forced to remove the gateway drug theory from their website. There was like 25 references to it or something like that. And so I think that really helped to turn the tide. It was exciting. They were not aware of that down there. And they put me on their board, for gosh sakes, the Republican Alabama Republicans Against Marijuana Prohibition, RAMP, Alabama RAMP.
all right. I just kind of opened those tabs. I'll take a look at them later. Appreciate that. But what you were just saying is sort of clicked a little one thing here to me is I think another thing we need to sort of start bringing to our conversations or educating on, and we'll probably even bring it up as part of our focus at the event in July, is jury nullification. Jury nullification, I think, could be a big benefit. If juries started saying, no, yeah, the guy's guilty of having some weed, but no, we're not going to convict him. They have the right to do that. They could say this is a bullshit law. No, but you're not allowed to tell the jury that they have that option. The judge isn't going to tell the jury that they have that option. So you need people that are educated going in and being on the jury. And somebody that on the jury might know about this, and they could say, hey, everybody else, why don't we just do jury nullification and say, no, we're not going to convict. So anyway, I think I'm going to sort of jot that. I don't really need to write that down, but I think that's something else that I definitely need us to sort of start highlighting a little bit more. And the third thing, and it's, I guess it's still connected to the first two in a way, is expungement. That's another thing we will sort of also be trying to focus on, is expungement at the event. So if you guys know any really, really great defense attorneys that are civil rights attorneys that might be interested in participating, I definitely wouldn't mind one or two. I'm not necessarily, well, I can't say I don't like attorneys because I think most of them, yeah, they know more about the law than I, so I like them because they can give me legal advice. But also I've had some dealings. Actually, I sort of won an initial case against an attorney one time representing myself, and I sued the guy. But then he played some little legal, I don't know. I wasn't an attorney, and it ended up sitting on some judge's desk, friend of his probably, because they're all in the Justice Department. They're all friends. And it just, he sort of, I forget the phrase. It wasn't like an appeal. He sort of just filed something that like said, oh, that district judge didn't have any jurisdiction over it, and we wanted to go to this other judge to I don't know. It just never went anywhere. So anyway, I don't always trust them, but I think they're pretty darn smart. And really trustworthy people are trustworthy and untrustworthy people aren't. So no matter what their profession. So yeah, those are going to be some of our main focuses on the event. Guys, we got 7:39. If you've heard enough of my voice, let's see what we got down here real quick. Bob sharing some more. DEA removes marijuana information from website.
That's the link that I was mentioning before.
Oh, that's the safe
Scott,
access.
I also want to ask about, we've got the problem with the current bill where as it stands right now, there's a new 5-year felony prison sentence and or $5,000 fine if an approved patient shares any of their medicine. And now I don't think we should be, we have to bring awareness to that. Most people who are in favor of the bill probably are unaware of that. And hopefully that's something that can be deleted at the end, because as it stands, that is in addition to losing your right to be a medical patient in the state for life, which is going to force some people to move out of state. And that should be enough penalty. Don't we agree on that?
Well, I think what we can agree on is that Tom Davis's bill is not the greatest bill that there. I mean, it's probably one of the poorest, worst medical bills in the nation. And he's kind of admitted it by saying it's the strictest. It's just we
God, it could lose money. He wants to break even. Anytime a state government or any government for that matter wants to break even, they usually end up losing money. And I can't see where this thing would be profitable at all.
What's that? His bill?
Well, they were talking at one point about opening up a dispensary in all 46 South Carolina counties, as opposed to just a few, which is, the overhead on that. It's a mess. It is the worst medical bill in the country.
Yes. But, and it's not going anywhere this year. So I think we got some time to wait.
Well, listen, they're still pushing it, and I think South Carolina NORML should come out and say, to be coming up with a new cannabis felony to put people in prison in the middle of a pandemic. That's just nuts. And if it was in there a couple of years ago, maybe that's understandable because he wanted it to be the most conservative medical bill in the country. Well, the pandemic is here.
That is a remnant from the old bill.
Well, that should have been out because there's a pandemic going on. It's just, I think it's crazy.
Yeah, it's still a remnant of the old bill. And, I mean, he's not rewriting it for me. We can make amendment requests and recommendations all we want.
Why don't we have a poll here among the group, and let's see if we're in favor of letting that go. It's just terrible that he didn't take that out of there. The only thing worse.
I agree with you, but again, look at the legislators that we're trying to deal with, the 46 senators that we're trying to deal with just to get it out of the Senate. And we're going to be lucky with that in to be able to get this bill to pass. Take it out.
That's part of the problem.
take it out and we're going to lose some of those senators. I mean, I hate to say it, but I feel that way. And yeah,
Unfortunately,
Sandy Sanders is going to go, oh no, we have to leave that in because, that's the only reason they want to push this medical marijuana is so they can just send these teenagers and get their green card and smoke for legally. That's her freaking mindset.
Scott, it's a trap. We should try to prevent this trap from happening. It's based, it's as if he's done that because it's like a dangerous substance almost. I mean, he knows there's medical properties, but I just can't believe he would coming up with a new felony is a terrible idea. He thought it was cute to make it the most conservative, but it ain't cute when somebody's going to go to prison and they could get COVID in prison. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, well, we got a lot better chance of them freaking changing federal law and decriminalizing at a federal level and descheduling at a federal level than getting him to take that out of there. And so let him leave it in there, let him decriminalize or deschedule at federal level, and then his freaking his part of the bill is moot.
Can we take a poll among the group here and see whether, I think South Carolina Normal should come out and say this needs to be taken out, to get our support or something like that. Because, Normal shouldn't be in favor of coming up with new felonies.
All right. Here we go again. Bob, this is one of the reasons why I've had trouble working with you in the past, because you like to tell me, the director of the organization, what the organization should be doing. The director is the one that's supposed to be directing the actions of the organization. If you would like to draft something and submit it, I'll consider it. But it's not my job to do what you request.
I'm saying it should be a consideration. I would think you wouldn't want a new felony for sharing a gummy.
And what do you want me to do about it? To just get up and stamp my feet and say, South Carolina Normal says that this shouldn't be in there. Is that what you're asking me to do, Bob?
Not exactly, Scott. No, but I mean,
okay,
you support the bill, and if you support the bill as it is or not, that's the question. I don't really think I can support the bill with that felony in there.
And
now,
that's your choice.
Great.
That's your choice, Bob. Like I say, we can make all the amendment recommendations we want. You want to draft them up? We'll make amendment recommendations to Tom Davis or to any senator you want and say, look, when this comes up for debate, why don't you suggest amending this out? So you draft it up for me, and then we'll have it, and then we can apply it. You good with that?
Tom is almost trying to not let anybody know that we already passed a weak medical bill back in 1980. Maybe he wants the political glory for being the guy who passes the first medical bill. And unfortunately, that's not the case. So we've had over 40 years to come up with a decent bill that's better than the one that didn't help, that actually passed, but didn't help any patients. But it sure didn't have a new felony in it.
Mm-hmm. And are you going to draft that up for me?
It's just that simple. It's that one thing, that part in there, the felony must go. Doesn't take a whole lot, Scott.
Okay, that's great. Then as soon as you submit it to me, I'll take a look at it. Appreciate it. All right, man. Well, that's it all we have, I think, then for tonight. Unless anybody, again, has any questions about the July event? Comments? All righty, then. We will talk to you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you being here. And let's see if we can change some laws in South Carolina.